So, welcome, thank you. This is the most attended AGM in the history of PYCON UK. Hooray! Not least because we kind of blackmailed you by not putting anything else in the same slot. It says 2 o'clock, but the schedule always changes, so it changed. So, we're going to go through the agenda, as much of it as we can at least, and we will at least hold an election of committee members. I will explain, I've had already some nominations for committee. I will explain what it involves to give people a chance to back out later. Present, well, I don't think we're going to take everybody's names. I don't know if somebody could roughly count how many people are present.
Could you all put your hands up?
80, yeah.
80, yeah.
Okay. 80 random people. And we have several of the existing main organisers present on the stage. My name is Zeth, and I was the acting chair for this year. Our long-term chair, John Pinner, unfortunately died, and I took over as acting chair. Do we have any apologies? Do I have to do anything for that?
Sorry for the mess.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to start plowing through it as quick as I can, and my fellow committee will correct me when I do things wrong, which will be often. You had quite an exciting year. We didn't move the venue because I personally wasn't sure after John died whether we would actually get the event going, but fortunately the committee rallied round and did a lot of the work, and I actually did less. It was actually less work being acting chair than being vice chair, but I think that's just because we had a lot more organisers, so that's good. One thing I really feel is that I don't want to be a chair of PYCON UK, not least because I'm not sure PYCON UK should have a chair in the way that it had in the past, where John Pinner put an extreme amount of focus on it before the conference, to the detriment of anything else happening. And I don't really have time for that, with a job and a young family and so on. And I am quite keen that we don't burn out anybody else either. So what we suggest, constitutionally, all we have to do is elect, ideally at least 10 committee members now. And in November, in the wash-up meeting, which is usually held in the Dunbar pub, which I have no idea, Duncow pub, which I have no idea where it is, but we might find another venue. Where was the Duncow pub?
Is it not in a village called Dun?
Dun. Is the Duncow in the Dun?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
And where was it?
It's just off the M1.
Okay.
Halfway between the M1 and here. It doesn't matter for now.
Okay. So anyway, as part of becoming a committee member, you are signing up to come to that meeting in the Duncow or some other venue. If travel costs is a problem and we've made any money, then PYCON UK Society will pay for your travel. As we're getting to, I would like to try and establish a group for doing EuroPython bid, and therefore I don't really personally feel that I can do the same things I did this year. So our suggestion is that Peter, at the end of the table, will basically become our General Secretary, if you like, who will be in charge of crew and communications. So anything, if you have a great idea and nobody else is listening, then Peter is the one that you bug. If something goes wrong and it's not listening, then Peter will be the one you bug. We also, where's Daniela? I knew he'd escape. Where's Daniela? Come here. Oh, stay there, it's too late, but wave from there. You're not, I think you got me on my list. There's too many L's and E's. Oh no, we're losing them already. Okay.
Too late, Steve.
It's like the Navy. You know, you drank the king's shilling that's in that coffee there. I'll do that in a minute. So my suggestion is that instead of having one chair charge for everything, I would head up trying to get EuroPython together and the other little projects we want to do. Peter would run the crew and communications, and Daniela would be like the local chair involved in 2016. That is our suggestion. And even though kind of Peter will be kind of in charge, I want us not to kill him by overworking him. So me and Daniela will support him and help him, but we want to try and not burn anybody out. Is that fair, Peter?
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. That is on... Yeah, everything is a bit interdependent. That's on part 9, which I better hurry up and get to. So, some really important things happened this year. So previously, the main way of organising the conference was to meet up in the Bull Pub in Birmingham and John's office, and for people of the Python West Midlands group and others who can make it to Birmingham to organise. This year, despite my initial heavy protestations, we switched to using GitHub as the form of organisation, and it worked out really well. Actually, all the changes that I objected to worked out really well. So there we go. But I like to think they had some checks and balances and deep thought went into it. So there we go. So the main way of organising the conference has been through GitHub. So it's kind of an open thing. Anybody can get involved. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a sprint on setting up a website for next year.
Monday,
thank you. Monday, setting up next year. We already have a pull request waiting in the system, which changes by Sarah, which changes all the dates to 2016. And hopefully we could do that. One of the things about the website is that it's in Python 2. So, so one of the cool things to do would be to port it to Python 3. There may be practical problems with that, and if not, if there is, there's another system called Sphinx, which does the Python documentation. That was another suggestion that's been made, but somehow make a website for 2016 in Python 3. That would be a cool sprint. And the things that are not in Python, that are still in Python 2, probably won't be too hard to port to Python 3. Somebody, people, please join that and do that. Huh?
I'm pretty sure Russell just volunteered.
Yeah, he had his hand up.
Just write that down in the minutes before.
I didn't hear any of that. What was it?
Russell just volunteered to port to Python 3.
Somebody volunteered.
Russell just volunteered.
Okay. Great.
Well done, Russell.
And it'll say, welcome to PyClosure 2016. Or I'd especially like to thank Peter and Nick and Mary, who have done most of the work, and also Sarah with the science track, and all the other people who I can't think of that have done a lot, Luke and others, Naomi, who I missed out. I'd like to thank that. I don't have Nicholas Tollovy on this list. And are you sure that Nicholas Tollovy is not on this list? So I'd like to thank Nick. Huh?
It's not on the list.
Who's number 3?
Nick. I have Nicholas Tollovy on this list. So,
Take a back seat.
Yeah.
Am I pressing the back key?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nick has produced the educational track, which has come out of nothing, and it's been one of the most successful parts of PyCon UK, and it's really put us on the map. So if there's not too much trouble, I'd like to give him a standing ovation for his work. So sad. All right, okay. But you're still going to help the people, right? Are you? Give them advice?
If asked, I will offer any amount of help.
Brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, I'm really bad hearing up here. It's not fixed, but in the next... Huh?
When do you want more names for it?
Well, we're going to try within this meeting, even though I'm being really slow, to get this list in order. So if you want to nominate somebody, they don't have to be here.
Danielle, also... Yeah.
Can you come type his name in? Because I can't even... Or you can... Oh, Vincent. Sorry.
Danielle, also, I think the Constitution says that the board can co-opt anybody...
At any point.
At any point, at any time, for anything.
The
As I found out to my detriment 4 years ago.
Yeah. The Constitution's pretty brilliant, really. After this meeting, we can do anything we want, if you don't oppose us at this meeting. So let's push on. It's going to take some time. So that was my statement from Chair. It's just basically, it's gone really well, and most of the work's not done to me because of the wonderful people like Nick that have been doing stuff. Thank you. And yeah, I should shut up. So we, in traditional John Pinner style, we planned to organise a conference. We organised a conference, and we may in future plan to organise another one. Statement from Treasurer. Can I put it up?
Yes, please.
Is the internet still working? Okay, you have a microphone there. Is it, yeah.
Hello, I'm Mary. This is an income and expenditure account because we're a community organisation. We don't have audited accounts. So it's very simply put, we got £44,000 in delegate fees last year, £10,000 in from sponsors direct. I'll explain what that means at the end. And £263 from odds, bits and pieces that we sold during the conference, and £103 from the year before. Moving on to the venue, after direct sponsorship, we were paid out just under £35,000. We paid £9,000 merchandise. We paid £1,600 to those schools that accepted the £200 bursary. The track was full of teachers, but not all schools took the bursaries, which meant we had money for this year. We paid for some hotel accommodation and flights, and all the rest is self-explanatory. As we are not VAT registered, and the venue charges us VAT, what we do is we ask the venue, this year and previous years, is to invoice our sponsors, so they reduce our liability for VAT. So at the bottom, the university invoice sponsors to the tune of £27,000, which means that if you add that figure to the sponsorship director, that's how much we got in from sponsors last year. And we're in the happy position of having a £5,000 surplus, which is a little bit more than the year before.
And I don't think it's really announced this yet, but how much did we raise for Cancer Research UK last night?
Right, last night we raised £1,700 downstairs. We've got a few more donations coming in. I don't know if we'll make the £2,000, but that bucket is downstairs for people that didn't come last night and want to put some money in.
Okay. So conference charity this year. Hello?
Just to clarify, this is for last year.
This is for 2014.
Last year's conference,
yes.
yeah. This is last year's conference.
You'll hear the counts of this year next year. Very exciting. Huh? Well worth coming for. Comes from PYCON UK 2016. You can hear this financial statement again. Right, anybody got any questions for the Treasurer, bearing in mind that we're a bit slow?
I'd just like to say that Mary does an amazing amount of work, and that she should get a standing ovation as well. Please, can we do this now?
Mary first joined us because she was Kieran's mother. So if any of you want to bring your mothers onto the crew, we'll be very. We want free entry for mothers.
And I'm not a programmer. I'm an end user.
Yeah. All right. So powering on. Meep. Neep. There we go. New financial support plan. We were to present a new financial support plan for 2016. I don't know if we've written it yet, but Nick, can you say some things about our plan?
This is support for delegates.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so if you come along next year, you'll find out that we've made more money than we did last year. And we would like to put that to good use by supporting those members of our community who otherwise would be unable to attend PYCON UK. Now, our prices are pretty low anyway. It's only 115 quid if you get the community ticket, and it's only 215 quid if you get the full price. This is for a 4-day conference. But even then, there are still members of our community who can't afford things such as childcare, transport, and accommodation to attend. So it's never been part of PYCON UK's remit to do this, but one would hope that the next set of people on the organising committee could use the money that we have raised this year in order to bring about some sort of financial aid plan for people who otherwise would not be able to attend.
Thank you, Nick. So the proposal is that we use any profits made, or some of the profits made, if we make any profit, famous last words, to support entry for people who can't afford to come next year. Anybody in favour of that? Anybody against that? Because it's basically your money that we're blowing here, right? So, great. So that's definitely unanimously approved. Statement on diversity. I have a graph. So we asked people who... Oh, it's a very small graph. I don't think it's going to get bigger if I make the text bigger. Oh, it does. Look at that. Hallelujah. We have a graph, and this is... we asked people when they booked if they'd like to tell us their sex, and this is the answers we got. So we have 71% male, and we have 20% female, and 35% maybe later, is it? Oh, I don't know what that colour column is.
So remember, this is a voluntary
thing.
question, so
and
this
then
is out of the people
7% non-binary information. So actually, even though it looks like we've got lots of men, and we do, this is actually a record turnout of females for PYCON UK. I remember the first year in PYCON UK, we had 5 women, and the next year we had 4 women, and then we had 10 women, and it's kind of slowly building up. But we had a massive application for Django girls, but we only had a limited amount of places, and so maybe that's something next year we can increase the number of. But 110 females is a lot of females, so compared to having 1 or 10 or 5. So I think the people that are involved with Django girls and everything have done a really good job in transcode and something increasing diversity.
Got a question here.
Hi.
Just a comment. Can I just say it's a great number? Having worked with a lot of tech industries, having 20% female engineers is a really high number. That's really unusual in the tech industry. So congratulations to PYCON.
Thank you. And we hope to do more in the future. Peter, you want to say anything about that? No. Okay. Sweet. So that'll do. Nick. One thing I want to say about diversity. We did all try to organise a creche this year, and we failed. I'm sorry about that. We will try harder next year, because we had one childcare provider who pulled out, and we couldn't provide a creche. So we will try to provide a creche next year, but it may go wrong again, because this is PYCON UK. Nick, sorry, education.
So as you saw, we had a whole bunch of kids turn up today, and they had a jolly old time over in the simulation centre. Yesterday we had a whole bunch of teachers turn up. They had some training. They went away all happy bunnies, to the extent that a lot of them are back here, and some of them are even in the room. So they're joining our community. Building bridges between the educators and development industry is important. That's it, really. I do hope that we can continue this. That's it.
Thank you, Nick. Future cooperation with PSF. We're running out of time, so I'm just going to gloss over some of these. One of the things is that we are threatening to break through the VAT threshold, and we need to become a proper, part of this is become a proper charity. Van Lindbergh, wait, Van, are you here? Hey, he's going to come up with a plan, but we don't have it yet, but we will have a plan. One of our crazy ideas was to become a trade union, and then by law, you have a right to attend union meetings, so people could have paid leave to become, to come to PYCON UK.
Zeth is a genius, he really is.
Yeah. But more seriously about becoming a charity or a non-profit enterprise, Van will look into it and let us know, and we'll try to do it in a way that we cooperate with the PSF, so we have a kind of backbone. Right, one thing I want to say is that who went to the PYCON UK conferences in 2009, 2010? Weren't they the greatest thing ever? Who liked them? Yeah, I thought they were the greatest thing ever. We funded them. We had a tips jar, and we made a profit on the event using the tips jar. We didn't have any sponsors. We didn't have anything. We just had a tips jar, and we made a profit. And it was a really great day. There was absolutely no organisation involved apart from booking a room. And we just came and we just did it, and it was fun. We did it in a venue with a cafe, so we didn't have to organise food. So I'd quite like to, if we're going to have this ginormous committee that we've just found, I'd quite like to get a couple of them organising an unconference. Who thinks that's a good idea? Who thinks it's a bad idea?
I'm not persuaded that we need to decide now.
No, it's just an opinion poll. Okay, well, you know. Actually, all votes are non-binding on the committee because our constitution is quite autocratic, but we'd like to know your views. Okay, so, it'll be quite exciting. And it's the kind of thing that we could do anywhere, even in, not in the Midlands. Very quick, next, sorry, I'm just going to go wrong. Next UK conference, PYCON UK 2016. Now, I love this venue. The venue staff are great. It's been really good. The Coventry University are really good because they help us manage our finances and everything. And another reason why we need to become a charity rather than, because at the moment because the university is like a shield around us from tax people in a way. We have had, we were thinking originally that when we got too big, we'd go back to Birmingham, we'd be Birmingham forever. But we have had a new suggestion that we host 2016 in Cardiff. And it would be quite exciting because it would allow the West Midlands people perhaps to free up some time to work on the EuroPython bid. So, so in 2017, we're either in Birmingham just doing PYCON UK or we're in Birmingham doing EuroPython. But for 2016, we've already got a great crew led by Daniela over there. Who maybe a bit later, because I'm running out of time, can tell us more about the merits of Cardiff. But basically, they ran DjangoCon, which was a conference for all of Europe. It was a massive conference. They've got the same team, the same venue, and it's a really great. Cardiff City Hall is a really great venue because it has a massive plenary room which can have up to 600 people. So it can be proper. We can properly dig into the venue. We can have chair tables. We can dig in. People can set up their Raspberry Pis and all kind of wires and everything. So we can have a really fun, massive, conference without having to break out so much, we'll still have other breakout rooms, but we can have like a really big main track. So that's our suggestion. More details will come out. It will be somewhere next year. Who is willing to come to Cardiff? Who will only ever go if it's in the Midlands?
Who didn't want to come there in the first place?
It's interesting because for the last few years when we've had feedback, some of the feedback has been, why does it always have to be in bloody Coventry?
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. So I might get egg on my face and it all goes wrong, we end up back in Birmingham or back in Coventry. But we are investigating Coventry City Hall as our venue, and they haven't pelted us with anything, so they haven't executed any of us. So we're going to take that as. Huh?
He has. Yes.
Zeth.
Yeah, I do the pelting in this room. So, constitutional amendments. Oh, running out of time. So, we have statements. In our constitution, it says that we will promote the Python language, we will promote open source Python software, Python ecosystem, etc. And we had a proposal last year to add promotion of diversity as an aim of society and education as an aim of society. But for some reason, we never seem to add it to our constitution. So we're going to bring this again because we have been promoting diversity and educational mission anyway. I haven't got much time, but if anyone would like to have a dissenting opinion or a point about this before I go to a vote. Sorry? Diversity in general or in a particular context? No, not in no particular context. Just that the committee and the organisers can spend the time and money promoting diversity if they want to as part of the mission to promote PYCON UK.
We feel that they're underrepresented groups within the technology industry, and we would like to welcome them to our conference.
And we also think kids are cool, so that's why we wanted to be educational things. So I'm just going to do it as a block, and if people vote against, I'll then separate it. So who's in favour of adding these 2 amendments as aims of our society? And against? Okay, so it's mostly unanimous, a couple of dissenters. So I'm going to take that as passed and move on. Committee members, right, I'm sorry I'm going to overrun everything. I'm sorry, Tim and everybody. Given the fact that you're going to have to go to a pub and eat on the PYCON UK Society with me and Peter and everybody else in November...
We haven't talked about this. We haven't actually talked about this.
What, a venue?
A venue or about how we get people involved.
We just need to know, are we okay with this? Yes or no?
Yeah. Because one thing I've got a problem with, right, is that every year we take a big committee list, and then half the committee we never see again.
Yeah, that's true.
So if we can just have people commit to coming to meet with us once,
Okay.
that sounds
great.
Is everybody in agreement on that? So the bar of commitment is that you have to turn up to one meeting in November. That is it. And if there's a real reason, like you've been posted to the US for a month or whatever, we can do some horrible electronic screen thing. But we might not be able to hear you. So anybody on the committee, given that, doesn't want to be on the committee.
So just one quick thing about that. At least one of these people on that list has to be the treasurer.
Yeah.
So.
But we have to. But that constitutionally, we decide that in that meeting.
We do, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be good if we have a group of lots of people who are happy to do everything else but not do that one job, because that's the one thing that can't be left undone. We cannot organise a conference, and that's fine, but we can't. But we must return accounts.
Yeah. Who else am I missing? Who else am I missing? Anyone else missing?
We have somebody on the floor.
I would very happily volunteer for that. Sorry.
Make a team, share the load.
Share it, yeah.
All right, I'm going over my slots, so I'm going to try and elect all the committee as a block, and if you vote against it, we'll go through each of them individually. Yes, so who's in favour of electing... Oh, hang on, sorry, I can't do this. I need somebody who's not on this list to hold the vote impartially.
Nicholas.
Oh, Nick is not on the committee.
Yeah. Hi, okay, so this is going to be really, really quick. If you think that these people should be on the committee, put your hands up now. Those of you who think they shouldn't be, I think that's unanimous. Well done, Zeth.
Thank you. All right, so everyone on this list, we've probably got your emails and phone numbers already through the compliment system, Evil Power, Google Power. And Peter will send you an invite to a meeting at either the Dun Cow or some other venue that he picks. Have I done it all? Any other business? And please give a clap to Peter as he leaves, because he's done so much work for the conference. Okay, the provisional date for the next meeting of this is the 16th of September 2016. Did anybody really have any other business? No? Okay, so now there's a really good talk coming, which is Pi Zero and the Raspberry Pi or something, and other talks, and I need you to run to them.